is a process of decisions podcast. This is Trent Thomas, your recovery peer support specialist. Tonight's episode is entitled Defining Boundaries in Recovery. A boundary can be defined as a line that marks the limits of an area, a dividing line. It can also be defined as a limit or a line where one thing ends and another begins. Because there are 1,001 ways of recovery, I have come to understand that what works for me may not work for someone else. Our personal boundary includes our personal moral aptitude, which is calculated by our personal experiences, good, bad, and otherwise. We all are products of our past. We serve each other when we share our life experiences on what to do and what not to do in handling life's many situations. What we know is that life is a constant stream of endless hills and valleys. This life is circular. What has happened will happen again. What has happened to one will and most often has happened to another. In recovery, we learn we are not alone because we all suffer from a common disease, a disease which is cunning and baffling. We learn that others who suffer from this disease have successfully navigated many of life's most challenging circumstances. When someone chooses to share their successes as well as their failures, they empower others with this information. Since we can only do what we know, when we add others' life experiences to our knowledge base, we then know what they know. When we know better, only then can we hope to do better. Information is just a collection of data. A lie is information. If someone stated the sky is purple, that is information. When information is confirmed as true or false, only then does that information become knowledge. When we confirm knowledge and compile it with feelings, because truth has a feel to it, truth has a ring to it, you can feel when someone is speaking the truth. So when someone says the sky is blue, that has a ring of truth to it, as well as my past viewing of a blue sky. Add to that my research that explains why the sky is blue. This brings my knowledge to understanding. The sky is indeed blue. When I then transfer this understanding to my life as a fact, when I then teach my children that the sky is blue and then tell them why it is blue, I then have become wise and demonstrate the quality of wisdom. With wisdom, I can then define who I am based on what I know to be true. I can then set boundaries because I know what I know to be true about me. Many times, setting boundaries is based upon past failures. If I know I have failed when I'm put in a particular environment, my past failures dictate that I do not place myself in a given situation because of my past failures. I set boundaries as it relates to my own recovery. I know I am responsible for my own recovery. I cannot blame my failings or bad decisions on someone else. To do so would mean they would be responsible for its solution. This, of course, is a impossibility because nobody can fix me but me. Boundary means understanding that I am no longer the person I used to be. Today I know better, and thus I make better decisions and receive more rewards and less consequences. A better life is the reward for making better decisions. Success has its own weight to bear. Not everyone wants you to be successful. Envy often rears its ugly head when you foster the rewards of recovery. A successful recovery is inundated with a wealth of giving. The more you give, the more God gives you to give. Recovery is a decision to live. The converse is to decide to die, to live a miserable life, a life where death is welcomed to avoid the pain of negative consequences, to finally be free of this misery and to enjoy the abundance that comes from the blessings that only God can give, to finally experience the joy of waking up to a life filled with amazement and gratitude for being rescued by the God of your understanding, to finally be at peace, the kind of peace that only God permits, the kind of peace where you know everything is already all right, to live a life filled with happiness and hope, a life where each day is a new opportunity to just do better, a life where there is no limit on your gratitude or ability to serve someone other than yourself. You may have a need to set boundaries from those who attempt to cast a shadow on your light. The light you shine reveals their misery and failings, so they attempt to dim your shine. For these, you may have to love them from a distance. You cannot diminish God's gifts of recovery. To rise up out of grips of dreadful misery is a true blessing, a blessing you may have to protect from naysayers and haters. Your boundary may have to keep others out because the light you radiate may reveal the miserable state others find themselves in. These same individuals will attempt to pull you down instead of lifting themselves up. This is Trent Thomas on the Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. Please leave your uplifting comments on transnetrecover.com/podcast. And please follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.